Hi, this is Anil and welcome to the video tutorial for the Learning Lad on C++ programming. So in this tutorial we're going to learn how to append some contents to the file, and also we're going to learn how to create an object of the fstream class, and we're going to use that one object to perform both read and write operations. So here first what we're going to do is we're going to create an object of the fstream class. So it's going to be fstream, and let's say file. You guys can give any name, and we're gonna pass the file name and the file opening mode as the constructor. So we can pass it right here, or you guys can use the open method. Both are same. So here the file name is gonna be, let's say, anil.txt, and then we're gonna specify the file opening mode. We want to open the file so that we can read from it. So it's gonna be in, and I'm going to use the R symbol, and we want to open the file so that we can write to it. So it's going to be out, and also we want to open the file so that we can append to it. So it's going to be iOS app. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to check whether the file has opened successfully or not. So I'm going to use if, and I'm going to use the not symbol, and it's going to be file dot is open. If the file has not opened successfully, then we're just gonna print out to the screen. So we're just gonna use cout and say error while opening the file, and then let's end this line, and else we're just gonna say file opened successfully. So it's gonna be file opened successfully. Alright. So now I'm going to open up the folder where I have saved this project, which is inside this appending to a file. And here you guys can see there isn't a file with the name anil.txt. Now I'm going to minimize it, and I'm going to build and run this, just to make sure that everything is working properly. And now it says file opened successfully, and if I open up this one, you guys can see here a file called anil is created. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this and close it and remove this append and build and run this, and it says error while opening the file. So that's why when we use the append mode to open a file, if the file is not present, then a new file will be created. So if I build and run this, the file will be created, an empty file. So when we open the file in the append mode, if the file is present and if any content is there in the file, and then at that time, the cursor or the file pointer will be pointing, to the end of the file, so that, if we write something to the file, that will be appended to that file, after the previous content which is present in that file. Alright, here first what we're gonna do is we're gonna write some contents to the file. So I'm just gonna copy this out and paste it in the next line, and I'm gonna say writing to the file. So here what we're gonna do is we're gonna use file, the stream pointed by this file object, and then we need to write some content, and let's say learning lad rocks, and then let's end this line. Alright. Now I'm gonna build and run this, and it says file opened successfully and writing to the file. And if I open up the file, you guys can see learning lad rocks. I'm gonna close that file and build and run it again, and it says file opened successfully and writing to the file. And again, if I open that file, you guys can see the content is appended to the previous content, and that's why we get learning lad rocks 2 times in the file. Alright, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna read from this file. When we use an object of this fstream class, that objects are gonna maintain the elements which are gonna specify the get and put positions. So a get position element specifies from where the next character is going to be read when the next read operation occurs, and the put position specifies where the next character is going to be returned when the next write operation occurs. So if it is confusing, don't worry, in the next tutorial we're going to learn them in detail. And in this fstream object, the get and put position indicators are the same. So when we append to the file, the get and put position indicators are going to be moved to the end. So if you want to read an entire file, we need to move them to the beginning. So what we can do is we can use a method called seek, and it's going to be file dot seek g, and we need to specify to where or to which point we want to move. We want to move that to the beginning. That's why I'm going to set 0 here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to read from the file. So I'm going to copy this out and I'm going to paste it here, and I'm just going to write reading from the file, and then we're going to create a string variable or the object, and let's call it as line, and we're going to read line by line. So I'm going to use the while, and it's going to be file dot evof, or we can use the good, both methods. I'm going to use good, and we're just going to read. So I'm going to use the get line function, get line, and we're going to read from this file, and we're going to store that in our line, and then we're just going to print out the line and this line. So that's it. Now our program is going to read from this file and it's going to print. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to build and run this program, and it says file opened successfully, writing to the file, and then it reads from the file learning lad rocks, learning lad rocks, learning lad rocks 3 times. Now I'm going to open up the file now, which is untitled.txt, and now you guys can see we have learning lad rocks 3 times. And if I close this and build and run it again, now we get 4 times, because learning lad rocks will be appended to that, and here in this file also we get learning lad rocks 4 times. So this is it, guys. This is how you guys can append to the files, and also this is how you guys can use an object of this fstream class to perform both read and write operation on a file. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.